Hey there, how's it going? My name is Jimmy. Thank you so much for joining me for another fragrance review. And also, let me just say, I want to say a personal thank you for the few of you that found me from my other channel. Seeing as I don't have much fragrance content yet on this channel, it means a lot to me that you gave me your advice and your encouraging words to help me continue. So it's because of you guys I'm here making a video just for you. Just as a side note, I don't really care about subscribers, or I'm not going to be making t-shirts to make money off of people. I don't care about that. I just want to talk about fragrances and give you my takes on things and argue with you guys in the comments about what we think is better and what sucks and what's cool. So let's get into it right now, shall we? So we'll talk about Navitus Parfums. This one is called Siesta Dry, Extrait de Parfum concentration. And I will say I agree with that. I like that. I like the higher concentration. I think frag heads are really into how powerful you can get it. So it is pretty pricey on the website, right? So it's $195 on navitusparfums.com. And I think the price went up at one point. I remember getting an email saying that the prices were going to go up. And I think everything else did as well in the economy, so that's not uncommon. It is out of stock, as I've mentioned, right now, but if you maybe can seek out a decant or a sample from their site, it's a great way to try this out if you want to give it a shot. Obviously, I like it. TLDR, it's a fantastic fragrance, and it's unlike anything I have in my collection, and that's saying something because I have a lot of citrusy, specifically lemon, creamy scents, even right here in front of me, that you might also have. Now, this Extrait de Parfum concentration Siesta Drive is made in conjunction with Buck from Big Beard Business. It says so on the website. And by Dominique Ropion, who is a fantastic perfumer, I believe, because I have a few of her fragrances, his or her fragrances in my collection. That name does ring a bell. And so I like that, right? I like buying a fragrance from Navitus because they branch out to a lot of people, like influencers who have a certain taste for things. And I respect that influencer, like Big Beard Business, for example. And I'm curious about what it'll smell like and what the art form will take shape through the master perfumer. And I will say, and it came really well shipped, and this presentation is amazing. This frosted glass, this regal looking sticker, the non-magnetic metal cap, which does not snap on, but still I really love everything about it. So just looking at it, it feels and looks like quality. Of course, smell is what's important, but if you're gonna get a pricier fragrance that you're curious about, it's nice when everything really locks in together as something you're proud to own, right? So it does smell like a lemon creamy scent, and I think that's not a mystery. Let's go over why it smells like that. We have Italian bergamot, Sicilian lemon, Persian lime, not Parisian. Those are two different things. Persian lime, ginger, grapefruit from Florida. So very interesting. I believe Big Beard Business went into his backyard and said, "Hey, I live in Florida." At the time, I'm sure he lives somewhere else now, and took a bunch of grapefruit and put it in the back of his truck and said, "Make a fragrance out of these citruses from my Florida backyard." I'm sure that's not true, but that's what goes on in my head. Italian mandarin and pink pepper. In the mid, we have some juniper berry, geranium, and petitgrain for light floral notes. Now, when the floral notes are in the mid, usually I feel like, yeah, that makes sense. I did not mention the lemon mascarpone accord. Of course, it doesn't mean there's actual cheese in here. I think on Fragrantica they said that one of the notes is cheese. Now, if that was the case, and if I saw that, I probably would have stayed away, and I'm glad I didn't. But it is a fantastic creamy note. It's not so much vanilla, which is listed in the base here, but it is creamy and sweet and really complements the lemon. So it's not sour at all. It's a light, sweet type of feeling that I get. Very uplifting. Let's finish off with the base notes here. Some grounding bitter notes of lemongrass, vanilla, vetiver, and olibanum. So even more creaminess here in the base. Just so pleasant. I love the fact that all these ingredients that should smell their own certain way come together. You don't really smell anything in particular unless you really focus on it. Just any normal person walking by will get whiffs of just a creamy lemon scent. No, oh, there's oud in here, but you can't smell it. It's not like that. It's just clearly lemon and just creamy and lightly sweetened, to the point where it's just good for women, men, adolescents. If you want to buy this kind of thing, there is no age limit here because it's just a pleasant scent. Anyone would like this. You could get a candle form of this and it would smell pleasant to everyone. That's where it's at. It doesn't smell cologne-y. It doesn't smell like a car freshener or Axe body spray. It doesn't smell fresh. It just smells really pleasant, and like you're driving down a road called Siesta Drive and your top is down and you're just kind of cruising along and people are just throwing lemon pies at your windshield. And then you wipe it off and the whiff gets in your face as it rains. I think I've made my point that it smells like that, but I don't think it smells like lemon meringue pie. In fact, I don't like it when people use that descriptor. It's fine if you do, but I think people should come up with their own descriptors and start saying the same thing over and over again. This is not lemon meringue pie. Allure Homme Edition Blanche is, I mean, if you want to see, it's not lemon meringue pie, but if it was, it'd be with spices and elemi, which is like a celery seed. You don't put that in your lemon meringue pie, do you? I didn't think so. Would you want to? No, please don't. But this just smells more of a fresher take, and it has some spices and oriental spices, and it smells lemony at first, but it quickly has that midsection where it's got some heavier, decent spices in there. And freshness, like you want to go play sports, for example. It's a very sporty fragrance, despite the lemony notes there. This is Siesta Drive, more just creamy lemon for anybody. When I first laid my nose on this, I remember this exact moment because I was going to tell you guys this whenever I was going to make this video, which ended up being years later. I bought this like 2 years ago. I opened it up, sprayed the cap, boom, put it down, walked away. I had to. It was so good. This is exactly the kind of fragrance that I had in my head that I just want to smell. How did they know what that was? Did someone put an earwig in my head as I was sleeping to take the fragrance notes I was dreaming of and made it into this? How did they know? This is the lemony fragrance that I wish I knew I wanted. I just thought I had it all covered because of all the other lemony fragrances that I have. I have by the Yuzu Grove, kind of lemony. I have Homme Edition Blanche, and of course Under the Lemon Trees, which is a fan favorite amongst all of us in the community, right? But I thought I had it all, and the moment I smelled this, I'm like, yeah. That was the one I was missing. Just lightly creamy, sweet, not feminine, not masculine, just perfect for any time of the day. I would wear this just waking up in the morning. This just puts me in a really pleasant mood because that's the kind of thing it is. It doesn't make me feel daring, but it does give me confidence knowing that I smell good to myself and I could smell good to anyone walking around. Now it is rather strong. I just sprayed once on this hand hours ago. What time was that at? Maybe like 4 hours already. I can clearly still smell it, and I did wash my hands with just water since then. I still smell it radiating out off my hand even at this distance for the past hour. I could wear this to any meal with friends. It's not going to put anyone off. Now that's a good fragrance in my opinion. That might have to do with the Extrait de Parfum concentration. A quick comparison to this one, Edition Blanche, as I already mentioned, this has more spices in it, right? And at first, when you spray it on the left and the right hand, you'll notice that this is just pure lemon not lime or grapefruit, although those are definitely in there. You just get a nice mixture of that lemon cream. And this one, you'll notice immediately on contrast, this is like a fresh, spicy lemon cream. Okay? It's not a dessert. It's not a lemon pie. It's not meringue. I mean, give me a break. I've never smelled meringue and thought, this smells creamy. Meringue smells like styrofoam. There's nothing to it. This kind of overshadows this for me. I think this wins. But to keep a fragrance collection that has all the holes filled, I would keep Siesta Drive and just have Allure Homme Sport. I don't like Eau Extreme. It's just too much of the fizzy almond smell. What do you call it? The tonka beans. So I prefer this one. This is very much more mass appealing to me and not as nauseating. So these outweigh Edition Blanche for me, just as a side note, okay? So now, what about Siesta Drive and compared to Under the Lemon Trees? This is more of a cutting through type of fragrance. I want to say it's not offensive, it's just more bitter and kind of like and it's very strong coming from Maison Margiela, I think, which I'm quite surprised by. Navitus Siesta Drive has a way of, I mean, how can something be citrusy, lemony, and creamy? All the light sort of aspects of a fragrance that are supposed to die down rather quickly. How could this stick around for so long on my skin? I'm not anything special. My skin is not anything special. How does this last for so long? The quality is here, and that's what I love about it. Sometimes when I get a niche fragrance, you just know it's not going to last that long if you're paying for quality. Well, this one right here, it does not smell juvenile. It doesn't smell cheap. It doesn't smell just like cream and lemon. It's not just, one of those things you spray and just like let go and reapply. This thing lasts. It lasts for a while because of its quality and its construction. And sometimes when you get an Extrait, it smells more like clay because they're trying to make it a little bit more heavy to stick around. It's not like that. Yes, it dims down after a while, but I just get this pleasant citrus cream. And how could you disagree with that? It just smells so awesome. Now, before I let you guys go, I'm going to spray my hand one more time. Both. Edition Blanche. That one kind of dribbled out there. Now, upon first sniff, yeah. So, Edition Blanche has more of a freshness. It's more active, right? This is just Allure Homme with lemon cream in there on top, which kind of dissipates after a little while. And by a little while, I mean like maybe half an hour. It's just not as pronounced. But I get the effervescent tonka bean and the spices come in just a little bit. I don't mean this to be a review for Allure Edition Blanche, but man, this smells so good. Siesta Drive. I still get that same feeling when I first opened it. Just like, man, how did they know? How did they know I wanted this? Buck from Big Beard Business loved this so much. It makes sense to me that he would make his own interpretation. I'm not sure if that was his goal, but I'm glad that they're different. Does that make sense? I'm glad he didn't just clone this one. But does that mean that some people are like, oh, you're missing the best elements of this? What makes this? You just made this too mass appealing. I could agree with that, but it's made too high quality to say that. I think it's a fantastic fragrance. It's expensive, but it's worth it. Presentation, the feel, the smell, the longevity. It lasts a work day for me easily. And I even wash my hands, so it's not even fair to say. But generally, a great deal, and I'm very proud to own it. And if you like this kind of thing, give me a thumbs up and a comment. If you have any opposing views, feel free to leave those down below, and make sure you write in all caps too, so you're yelling at me. I'll yell back. All right, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.